Welcome to Zama Victor English and Literature Academy, the home of English language. Today we are going to learn into the meaning of poetry. Introduction to poetry. Introduction to the basic concepts in poetry. Poetry is the most difficult part in which students find it difficult. In fact, it's the most difficult genres of literature, where most scholars find it difficult to understand. But the basic concept of poetry has various definitions. There is no consensus about the rightful definition of poetry. Some people define it based on the most popular definition by William Wordsworth, which defines poetry as the outflow of emotion recollected in tranquility. Outflow of emotion recollected in tranquility. Poetry is a language which conveys feelings, emotion, thoughts, idea using a rhythmic pattern or rhythmic language. Poetry is the outflow of emotions, feelings, of thoughts, ideas, emotion. Thereby, a leader communicates to his audience in his feelings or his experiences using a rhythmic pattern. Poetry has various definitions, but this is the basic concept of the basic concept of poetry is that a poetry must has a rhythmic pattern. It must have a rhythmic pattern. That is what differentiates poetry from music. So let us look at the word poetry. Poetry has basic characteristics or features. Poetry has basic characteristics or features of poetry or characteristics of poetry. Poetry has these features. One, poetry are written in stanzas. They are constructed in stanzas. Poetry are written in stanzas. That's number one feature of poetry. They are also written in lines and verse. Lines and verses. Then poetry is also written. Poetry make use of imageries. Imagery is one of the key features in poetry. The language of poetry is condensed. That means it is economical in nature. The language of poetry is economical in nature. Poetry make use of imagery. Imagery is another feature of poetry. Imagery. Another feature of poetry that poetry is written in condensed language. That is it means that the language of poetry is economical in nature. That is condensed. Also, the language of poetry the language of poetry can also be said to be connotative and denotative. When you say connotative or denotative, connotative means the associate meaning which the writer speaks, or the emotional temperament which the writer. It means metaphorical meaning. The association of meaning assumed by the writer in the concept. For instance, the writer may say red. Red can be danger, it can be bloodshed. But in that, when you say it means denotative meaning, that means dictionary meaning, literary meaning, like color. Red can also mean color. When you say black can mean the darkness, although that means connotative meaning. But when you say dark, it means a color. So language of poetry makes two uses of language, connotative or denotative meaning. That is another way. Language of poetry. Another thing, in imagery of poetry make use of imagery. Imagery has 5 types, which are visual imagery, auditory imagery, olfactory imagery, and also we have kinetic imagery. These are various imagery used by a writer when creating a scene in a poetry. Poetry has those features, and also there are basic structure of poetry, which are line, verse, stanza, and also rhythm, tune, and mood. These are the basic elements of poetry. Not only that, poetry has a subject matter. And also has what it takes. Everything about poetry is that most speakers find because of poetry language. The basic concept of poetry is that understanding the language of poetry, which means this qualitative meaning I already mentioned also, the qualitative meaning and denotative meaning. For instance, a word can go beyond his imagination of writer when a writer can do. But first of all, you must understand the tune. The tune will help you to understand the connotative meaning or the notative meaning of a poetry. Poetry also is versatile. Another sometimes some poetry make use of canto. In some poems, they make use of canto, which is long poems. Some poems make use of canto, which is another form of stanza, which are found in many long poetry, a long poem, like example, The Rape of the Lock by William. The Rape of the Lock, mock epic poem written by The Rape of the Lock by William Kelvin. Another one is this. Another one is this, that poetry, in line arrangement of poetry arrangement of lines can be grouped in this technical form, which are we have monometer, a poem of one stanza, we have couplet, which is a poem of two stanza, we have triplet or tercet, which means a poem of three stanza, we have quadrille, which is a poem of four lines, we have quintet, a poem of 5 lines, then we have septet, which is a poem of 6 lines, then we have septet, a poem of 7 lines. We also have octave, which is a poem of 8 lines. Most octaves are Shakespearean sonnets, and they are written mainly in iambic pentameter. It is all poetry. Not only that, poetry has various functions. We are going to look into the functions of poetry, which ranges from political function, educative function, social function. Poetry also has entertaining function, but mainly we are going to concentrate only in 3 basic functions of poetry, which are educative function, social function, and also political function. When you hear the word political, it means that poetry is used to criticize political issues in the society. Example of poem written by presidents. Example of such poems are called satirical poetry. That is, we have various forms of poetry, which can be in form of satirical poetry, narrative poetry, and also we have what is called we can say like we have some poems that are satirical in nature, or that you have didactic poetry, which serve as moral lessons. Now we are going to look into the political. You can find these poems in political poem, which satirizes the society, the ills of the society, or the ills of political leaders. First of all, go and look a poem written by a famous poet, written by I Wanna Be a President by Emeka Nwa President. By Emeka Nwa President, which is written I Wanna Be a President, or a poem The Leader and the Led, which was written most currently in Nigerian scheme of work. The Leader and Led, the poem trying to criticize Nigerian leaders. All these poems are called the use of poetry to criticize the society. Not only that, poetry performs educative function. Through poetry, people can be enlightened or educated, and also people can inform of what is actually happening in the society. Not only that, people are well informed. This is the ability of poetry to moralize or abuse the mind through spiritual abusing of the mind. Then when you talk about entertaining function, poetry can also be used to entertain people or to people who wants leisure time. Poetry can also be entertained. These are the basic functions of poetry. There are other functions of poetry which are social function, also the religious function. Poetry can also be used to criticize religious aspects of culture, which are ills of the religious. They also use propagate religious faith. These are functions of poetry when you say religious function. But I'm not going to talk much on that. See you on my next shoot, where I will discuss the details, introduction to fiction. Thank you.